Hey cats, it's your midsole man EDDBUD here. Another batch of shoes to discuss and dissect. Will I be picking these up in the near future for a review and test on the channel? It's running shoe yay or nay. Today, lots to examine: the New Balance FuelCell Rebel version 5. The Takumi Sen 11 from Adidas looks set to drop finally. We have a Nitro offering from Puma, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. And the exciting allure of the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. Lots to get through, let's get to it. Thanks for joining me here on Running Shoe Yay or Nay, the viewer's favourite. If you're yet to do so, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. Drop us a comment too to help with that YouTube algorithm. Dankeschön. Running Shoe Yay or Nay is a series where I take a look at a newly released or future running shoe and let you know if I'm going to pick it up for review or not. It's not whether I think the shoe is a complete treasure or total trash. I can't really know that till I get it on foot, but I will give you my reasons as to why I might pick one up for review or not. It might be it just doesn't fit into the rotation, or I just don't have need for it. Okay, glad we've cleared that up. Shoe number 1. The FuelCell Rebel 4 wasn't a shoe that really worked for me. The upper too generous, the midsole too soft, and the lacing a little too stretchy. It just didn't really work on any level for me, so I sold it on quickly. Is the FuelCell Rebel 5 likely to fix any of these issues? The sample weight is apparently 228 grams or 8 ounces. So it's a little bit higher than the Rebel 4, that was about 197, 6.9 ounces. So it's going to be a heavier shoe by roughly an ounce. Sam over at Road Trail Run reckons on the upper being a little bit more refined in the V5 across the board. And that was my chief pet hate about the V4. They also reckon on the stack height being very slightly higher by a millimetre in both forefoot and heel. Though that wasn't really much of an issue for me in fairness in the V4. There was loads of cushion from that PIBA and EVA blend. I just felt it was a little bit compressive, I suppose, without much return. Very rubbery kind of material. The Nova Blast always feels a more nuanced version of what this is, I think, in terms of squash at least. 36mm in the heel and 30 in the forefoot, they reckon, in this new V5 version of the Rebel. 6mm drop. They seem to have simplified the outsole rubber here, and again, I wasn't really that fussed about that. So a bit of an odd update really. There's a bit more cushion, a millimetre. I mean, if you can tell that you got very sensitive toes, but an ounce heavier in weight. So I wonder where that weight is coming from. This always seems like a popular option. Some people seem to absolutely love the Rebel, and some people, they can take it or leave it. Bit on the fence really. I mean, 140 quid, it might be an absolute dog again. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle here. I'll wait for some early independent reviews, and if it's looking good, I might pick one up. Now, depending what you think, this could be either the Velocity Nitro 4 or the MAGNIFY Nitro 3 from Puma. The big cats sticking with the Nitro foam in whatever this shoe is, rather than opting for like a carrier material around the foam, so kind of points me towards it being perhaps the next version of the MAGNIFY series. Perhaps a lower stack Mag Max, at least the midsole sculpting looks a bit like that. I think part of the heel stack will be cupping around the foot somewhat, as per the Mag Max. So perhaps this is the MAGNIFY. I'm sure that many will be pleased to see the removal of any carrier foam if this is the Velocity Nitro 4, which I felt wasn't always necessary due to the Nitro foam durability on its own. Hard to tell these images too much about the upper of this shoe. Does look like a slightly thicker knit-like material there with some built-up eyelet reinforcements. Don't forget that the MAGNIFY 2 went through several iterations in terms of the upper. They're not afraid to switch it up sort of mid-lifespan. It's a very interesting approach from Puma. Nobody else really bothers to do that. They aren't afraid to tinker mid-release with some of their shoes, which is always a good thing. As such, you do wonder if there's some Nitro Elite hidden in the midsole somewhere. I always thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do really. If you've got a Nitro midsole base, then place some of the Nitro Elite in specific places, a little bit like Nike do with their Air Zoom units in the Pegasus, for example. Rubber thickness on the outsole, certainly in tune with a more daily option, is a thicker application to enhance the durability and boost the longevity of the shoe. The outsole certainly looks like a version of the MAGNIFY Nitro here rather than the previous Velocity Nitro. Either way, it's always interesting to see what Puma are up to in terms of their daily driver rotation shoes. So it's a yay for me whenever this drops, whenever we find out what it is actually. Let me know in the comments what your take is on this one. The Takumi Sen 11 was always set to be an odd beast. New Light Strike Pro formula perhaps in the midsole, and upper directly ported from the Adios Pro 4, and the outsole very similar in layout and setup to that shoe. Tuned midsole stack of course in the Takumi Sen is 33mm, and a classic lower drop as always. Though the puzzle here is the price. If they stick with 170 quid on this one, which I think they will, I think it's a bit of a bad move. Only 50 quid less than the Adios Pro 4, which is going to be basically the same shoe, but with more stack. You can often pick up pairs of the Adios Pro 4 over here in the UK for 180 quid, so a tenner more at retail. That's a bit crazy. I mean, the shoe is so close to what we've got in the Pro 4. Is there really space now in the Adidas lineup for both of these? It's easy to get confused between them due to the same parts seemingly being used here inside of the midsole unit. The rods appear to be the same as in the Adios Pro 4. Enjoy the Takumi Sen over several iterations right back to the V6, but this is now barely recognisable from the initial boost and light strike design. This was always a sort of more responsive, much shorter distance shoe. So I guess if you like the Sen 10 midsole, but you want more cushion and softness from the new Light Strike Pro formula, if the Adios Pro 4 upper works for you along with the outsole, but you want less stack, then your quid's in. But it's quite niche, and I see some people being really confused as to why they might opt for the Sen over something like the Adios Pro 4. You may as well pick up the underrated Adios 9 and be done with it really if you want a lower stack, more responsive shoe. So it's a nay on the Takumi Sen 11 at this point in time. I understand why some people might be really excited for it, but when the price is going to be so close to the Adios Pro 4 with those discount prices already on that, I just don't see the point. Last up is the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. This is set to release for $200 in the US, though I note the whopping 45mm stack height on this one. My word, it's going to be close to like 48mm for me in my UK 11, US 12. Maybe more even due to the scaling. 37mm in the forefoot of the sample size with an 8mm drop, though Mizuno state the sample size 9 is only 9.4 ounces, which is 266 grams. That places it into a trainer category for me, albeit a very light trainer. It's probably going to be a bit under 300 grams for my size. The outsole typically more trainer-like in terms of the lug and rubber depth. We have the softer Mizuno Energy Next material here. That is a nitro-infused TPU type stuff, so it sounds a little bit like the Puma Nitro Elite blend. Knit-like upper, though that was the one thing that put me off the first version of the shoe, with a slightly narrower foot. I think that a few reviewers said that the upper was a little bit baggy and they couldn't get a good lockdown and they had a little bit of heel slip. We have the almost obligatory Mizuno heel bevel here, and they suggest it is to encourage a midfoot landing. Well, I guess you can't land on the heel if there isn't one. $200 is pretty much spot on 150 quid, which is what the previous version costs. So might give this one a whirl. Loads of people seem to really want me to review the current model. Seems like it makes more sense if I pick up this newer version, keep it a bit more current. I grow a little bit tired of the same old brands pumping out the new versions of the same old shoes, right? So what the hell, when it releases, I'll say it's a yay on this one, the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. Okay, that's all 4 shoes for today's yay or nay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on these down in the comments. A quick musical interlude for you. An album that's always been in the rotation, it never leaves, at least for me, is Edwyn Collins's Gorgeous George from 1994. I love the title track, in fact. It's got a weird, quirky kind of vibe. Really interesting guitar playing as well. You've got this beautiful mixture of quite plain acoustic finger-picked style, and then there's some sort of fuzzy electric solos over the top. No idea what the track's about, but I just love Edwyn Collins' style. He's retained that through the years, always interesting, a little bit left field. He's always coming at it from a slightly odd angle. Some of his albums can have like some indie kind of stuff on there, some punky material, some disco, some funk, or just plain sort of subtle acoustic music. He isn't the guy that's just churning out the same music over and over again, and for that I shall always love his stuff. Go and check it out, people, from 1994, Gorgeous George by Edwyn Collins. Thanks for joining me on the channel, always appreciated. If you're one of those many people that haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button down below. Also give this video a thumbs up, like, and drop us a comment as well to help with that YouTube algorithm. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you